Hello folks, it's Donal Ward McCarthy here, Principal with 311 Realty Group, bringing you your update mid-February, looking back at January 2023. We'll look at some of 2022 data, 2023, and what we see in the forecast for this year in regards to real estate in Toronto/GTA. So quick look at year-over-year data. The most important thing people are looking for is how much of a difference, last January, February was the peak of our market, and then we saw interest rate changes, prices came down until about July. But between January last year and this year, we've seen a 16% drop in prices. When we break that down in the 416 area to different categories of homes, we actually see the detached and semi-detached homes. They're the ones who've seen the greatest adjustment in price, over 20% adjustment, whereas townhomes and condominium style properties only saw a 9 and a 6% respectively drop in prices. So they did actually very, very well, probably because they're the more affordable product in our market. Therefore, as rates hike, we're pushing more and more people into those categories. So there's more competition, more demand for that particular product as people can't afford the detached and semi-detached product. That's probably what happened there. Keeping a close eye as well too, a comment on inflation. You can see here inflation was down to 6.3 in December, better than we expected. We were expecting a 6.4, so we're doing quite well with our interest rate hikes and our monetary policy in bringing down inflation. Now, let's look at month-to-month data. So here we go, folks. I'm going to make this slightly bigger. So demand. Coming into this year, demand was a little bit lower for sure. That said, when we put stuff on the market early January, we saw quite a bit of activity and stuff was moving quite quickly. We're expecting quite a vibrant spring in terms of sales. Supply, you can see here again last year, a lot of people deciding not to sell. So after the peak in March with supply, we can see that a lot of people decided to take their properties off the market or not sell at all, not entertain, and wait until things got better. And then when we look at how that reflected in prices, we can see here last year the peak was in February in terms of prices. Then monetary policy, interest rates that dropped 20% in prices to July. And since July, and this is the positive news I'm telling my sellers right now, really since July, despite still a lot of aggressive interest rate hikes in our market across Canada, prices have pretty much held solidly coming into this year. So there's been no real change. And the big thing now, we're listening to economists. The person I love to listen to is Benjamin Tal, who had a conversation with the Financial Times on February 4th. And he said likely we're going to get another 0.25% hike. And hopefully then, if that shows good data in terms of inflation, we're going to stay the course for the rest of the year, keep rates the same. And as soon as we see interest rates drop below 4, or inflation drop below 4 towards 2%, that's where we're going to see some rate decreases in regards to the overnight lending rate. How are we looking with absorption rates? What are absorption rates? Basically, and we look at absorption rates every week in the condo and housing market. And that basically is a factorial of how many houses are, as product hits the market, how quickly do we expect it to be absorbed or sold, let's say. So you can see coming into the start of the year, as we saw in our chart, demand was very, very low. The supply was good. However, demand has increased in both the condo and homes market. So we're actually down. We're in a very good spot right now in terms of condos. In Toronto, we've got under 20 weeks of inventory, which is a balanced market. It's not a buyer's, it's not a seller's. So we'll be watching that and keeping you updated on that. In the housing market, we're actually in what we would call a seller's market because we've under 10 weeks of inventory there right now, folks. So we're going to keep an eye on all of those parameters. All of this stuff is for download here in the email or somewhere around. However you're receiving this, there's a link to download all this stuff. Reach out to us. It's actually going to be a great spring market, either whether you're buying or selling. So give us a shout here at 311 Realty Group. Ciao, ciao. Thank you.